Is rebuilding your website really enough to move the needle within your business? Because in this case study, I'm going to run you through a project that we launched 3 months ago for a client who today still has no traffic. However, this website has brought him in $100,000 in revenue through the website alone. That's with no marketing, just the website. Stay tuned. Hey folks, Matt from Tradie Web Guys here, and I'm coming at you today with a 3-month snapshot of a project that we launched for a roofing client of ours down in Melbourne. This is kind of a strange case study for us because as a marketing agency, primarily our focus is on marketing initiatives such as Google SEO, Google Ads, that kind of thing. This client has not done any of that. He has purely came to us because he wanted his website rebuilt. His old website was quite dated. If you head across to the case study page on our website, you will actually see the before and after snapshot of that job in a separate video. However, this is 3 months down the track, and through purely rebuilding the website alone, he has managed to generate $100,000 in revenue, which he has put down to the website, and he's actually left us a fantastic Google review to say so. So what I'm going to show you here, as I say, is something that it's kind of a strange one for us because normally we're showcasing successful progress of campaigns 3 months down the track, whereas this one has had no campaign. So I'm essentially going to show you what the website looks like and then some of the stats off the back that we've pulled up in one of our reports so we can showcase to the client so we can getting him traffic, which he's on board for. So if you've listened to any of the podcasts or anything like that, you've heard me talk about the conversions we can track and the conversions we can't track. Now, in this instance, this is a prime example of how you can improve the conversions that you don't really track. And I want you to put yourself in the position of your potential customers, for example. Now, when people are coming to your website, if they're not getting the information they're looking for, if they don't find that you're professionally represented, and if you're not building trust and rapport through that website, or you're not showcasing yourself as an expert, then you are reducing your conversion factor. Now, this is something that's very hard to gauge. You can gauge it with things like Google Ads, and you can even gauge it with SEOs through things like form completion, phone numbers that have been called, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not actually running any marketing, it's very hard for you to gauge the impact that a website that's been professionally built can have on your conversions. This is what I like to call the unknown. So this is a prime example of how that little ecosystem comes into play, because although we can't really gauge it, the client himself has said it's because of the website. You need to consider that. It's a very powerful thing, and when you combine a professionally built website, which you should really look to as your marketing launchpad rather than just a website. And the reason I say that is because it's an ongoing evolution. It's a work in progress. It's like a living organism. It's something you should always be, working on and treating as an asset. It's never a once and done situation. So anyway, let me reduce this video here. I'm just going to jump into the client's website. Again, he's down in Victoria. He's a roofing company, very smart business operator, and he's actively started growing the business with this new brand. And anyway, it's a nice, lovely WordPress website. It looks beautiful. Again, go back and check the video out on the before and after if you want to see what it did look like, because it's chalk and cheese. But interestingly, if I jump into the report, so this is something we typically do for our, we do this for all of our clients, and we also do it for our non-clients. We actually also do this for a lot of people that are coming to us with inquiries, and we call it our opportunity assessment, where essentially we pull up a whole bunch of different reports through different dashboards and through different technology, and we collate it together in a beautiful little report, which we call our opportunity assessment, so we can showcase to you and we can basically highlight where your opportunities lie. And this is kind of that. So interestingly, and there's a conversation that I had to have with him, because when we ran this report, I was like, wow, this is amazing. He's got no traffic. And then when I jumped on the phone with him, he basically said that this website's so far has generated us $100,000 in revenue. Now, $100,000, okay, that could be subjective depending on the type of business you're in, but that's obviously a pretty good result across the board. So you can see here there's very little traffic, and we compare that to one of his competitors. There's very little. This is obviously taken a little while back in January, so this is quite a few months ago now. It's probably changed a little bit, I would have thought, but there's a lot of opportunity in here. So when we're running this audit, basically looking for ways that we can potentially, improve on what's currently sitting there, or we can add value to that. There's a huge amount of opportunity down there. We know there is, because you can just tell by what his competitors doing and by the search volume and some of those keywords. And that might sound doom and gloomy at a glance, but in fact, it's really empowering when you are the business owner and you can see that you are in a position where essentially all you can do is move forward. Now, as I scroll through here, there's obviously a whole bunch of different things. There's a little talk about strategy. We also made some recommendations on Google ad marketing. Again, it can be a very good option for a lot of businesses. So we try to incorporate a lot of these different things under the marketing bracket instead of just doing just Google ads or just SEO. We try and come up with the best combination for every business. And so here with the recommendations, a simple SEO strategy will radically improve his traffic. When we start a campaign like this, we typically notice a huge increase on a parabolic curve for a new campaign, especially in a situation like this where there's just no traffic, because that initial curve will absolutely skyrocket. And if you look down here at some of the estimated outcomes for Google ads, again, there's a lot of opportunity. And for some of the services like roofing especially, you don't need a lot of jobs to justify that. Like, off a relatively small budget, $3,000, a month in Google ad spend, you get some pretty darn good conversions back off that. If you get 29 leads, out of 3,000 qualified leads out of a $3,000 budget, and you only convert, a handful of them, you've well and truly covered your costs there for an industry, especially like roofing. The one that I wanted to, I suppose, show you primarily was where they're currently, and again, this is going back a few months, so it's probably improved since then, but they're currently getting 7 visitors a month, and we would expect, within the 6-month period to absolutely compound those results with 40% of their keywords in the top 10 positions in Google. It's very hard to parlay that into how many visitors that might look like. But looking at competitors, we would say at least 300 within 6 months, which again, in truth, is not even that high, and that's probably quite a conservative estimate. But when you're jumping from 7 to 300, I don't even know what that would turn out as a percentage. I'm not smart enough to figure that out, but there's a significant traffic increase. And if he's already getting great conversion and great results from a website, you can imagine what adding that sort of extra traffic into the mix, what those kind of outcomes are likely to look like. So anyway, the whole, again, it's kind of a strange case study for me to showcase today, in the sense that we're not actually talking about a marketing result. We're talking about no marketing result, but still getting a great return for the client. And I know that might relate very strongly to a lot of you guys. Essentially, all we did with this client, this project, was we rebuilt the website and we had all of his content professionally copywritten using SEO principles and that kind of thing. And he's made a huge return on it. So head across to tradiewebguys.com.au, reach out to us, let's have a chat. We'd love to be able to showcase you in one of these videos soon. So let's get the ball moving. Ciao.